Hedera Hbar. So we just climbed up the ranks in the position, which we're going to be taking a look at. And Leemon Baird has said that this one thing is powerful in relation to DLT and AI. Of course, we will be looking at the price action of both Source and for Hbar coin today. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to also subscribe to the channel as well. So this video is getting put out on the 24th of February. But in terms of what happened 2 days ago, we had Hbar moving up the ranks on Coinmarketcap. So this is to do with your market cap and how it compares with the other coins. And on that day, it was ranked 24. So if you do check the position of where Hbar usually is, it's at around about that 32 to 33rd spot, meaning that it was able to climb up by another 12 spots to 24. Again, from Zepsi says over here, it's a new record for Hedera and the highest rank that we've ever seen. And so far with the price action of Hbar, we've been doing pretty well. And because this is now recorded on the 24th, I just want to show you the current spot that we are in. And so we are in 28th place, meaning that we have now come down by 4 spots. Cosmos has actually taken our spot, but the market cap is at $3.67 billion. And the market cap for Cosmos is just roughly around about that $0.3 billion difference. But still, even with that, we have moved positions quite nicely. I mean, Stellar is now in 33rd place, but it has been a new record for Hedera, so it is good to see. In terms of what Leemon Baird has said, it is on their website and it's in relation to their Gossip About Gossip podcast. As usual, I don't play the whole video. I'm only going to show you a few short clips, which I thought were necessary in terms of information for you. And this is what he says is powerful.
Working hand in hand, and how do we think about DLTs really helping with that governance of this new technology that a lot of people are nervous about?
Yes, so DLTs are powerful, the blockchain world knows that, and AI is powerful, and the two together are extremely powerful, and they're both changing the world. And so lots of people are talking about both of them right now because there's just so much going on. And you know, of course, I did Hashgraph and Hedera. I'm a blockchain, DLT, that kind of person. But my PhD was originally in AI. It was reinforcement learning, talking about how you could do with deep neural networks, all the stuff we're talking about these days. So it's just exciting to see it all come full circle. You asked about the intersection. That's what everybody asks about. So there's several different ways that these two worlds intersect. Right now, people are very worried about what happens when you have generative AI like ChatGPT and it is malicious in some way because someone slipped in bad training data. So the beauty of these new AI systems is that you don't program in very much at all. Almost everything is just learned from the data. The bad thing is everything's learned from the data. So if you have bad data, it's garbage in, garbage out. And so we really care about the data. And so you mentioned Equity Labs, which are doing cool things where they keep track of the data used to train the AI. And it may not be that simple. It may be that some data was used to train an AI, and then more data was used to tune that AI, and then maybe even more data was used to train it, and in the future may have that you have two different neural networks that each trained separately, and now somehow they're working together to train a third one. You can even do that. You can have a neural network in the loop of the training. Then you can have humans in the loop, where humans have to say yes or no on various things and give feedback, and you like to record what they gave as their feedback. They did additional training. It gets complicated.
And we know that Equity Labs is in partnership with Hedera. Now, what he's talking about here is in terms of the AI models and how they will be training each other. I think that it is quite fascinating and it will be much more accurate than, for example, if a human were to train an AI model, because the AI model will have all of that good data, and as long as it has all of that good information and data, then it should be able to train other AI models much more accurately and precisely better than humans. And I think the problem that we might actually stumble upon is if we have, let's say for example, 3 or 4 tunings of an AI model, but something went wrong, are we then able to go back and rectify that, or is it too far gone? And it may be a case of maybe restarting on the 2nd or 3rd stage and then inputting the data in order to retrain it again. But this does somewhat remind me of what Tesla have been doing in terms of the self-driving cars, like with their systems. That is how they're able to keep all of the information and data within that Tesla car and then update it to the system network.
And you could say, maybe I'm doing this because I'm a nice person and I want the DLT, I want Hedera to remember if it's been revoked. But maybe you go one step beyond and say, hey, I'd like to have royalties. Now, of course, if millions of people are giving data, your royalties are going to be very tiny. They can't write you a check every time you have a royalty for 1/10 of a cent. It just doesn't work. The check and the mailing is 100 times more expensive than the royalty. So what you need to do is have micropayments, which means you need to be using cryptocurrency. It can be divided down so small. And so even if you batch it up and only send you a check once a year, if it's less than $1, really you want to be doing this with ledgers. So this is a third way that we can be part of this AI story in a very important way.
And I believe that is why micropayments is important, because when it comes to receiving all of these monies, it often doesn't make sense to write these checks or make these payments because number one, it's not feasible, and number two, also with the fees. So if we're able to integrate the micropayments, I think that will provide a solution for us. From DaVinci Graph, we do have a few stats about the Hedera hash graph TLV, or total value locked. So it's now over $124 million. And you can see that our favorite project, or the project that I always talk about, SaucerSwap, comprises basically around about 98% of that really, at $122.35 million, Stader at $36 million, HeliSwap at $2.48 million, and then DaVinci Graph at $1.27 million. And on the changes, the 7 days, we are up by 43.54% for SaucerSwap, 26.93% for Stader, and a huge 50.35% for DaVinci Graph. I mean, all of these projects are doing pretty well, but SaucerSwap really is taking the lead on that. For the price action of Source, we are currently trading at 0.1792. Now, we are down by 3.17% on the 1-day chart, but it isn't really a big deal because we have run quite a bit. For the 24-hour volume, we are down by 14.58%. And we are trading at $2.59 million. So today we were just trading at around about 0.1777, and then on the 7-day chart we are still up by a nice 42.15%. I mean, you'll see the spike that we had over here to 20 cents. That is our all-time high that we went to. Of course, we did have a pullback, so we went below and we went to 0.1535. So we roughly pulled back by around about 5 cents. And then we somewhat climbed up, but pretty much consolidated to that 17 cents, came back down again to 0.619. And then we took that nice bit of a rally all the way to 0.1964, nearing to the 20-cent mark. And now we have calmed down a bit and we have actually headed to the 18-cent level. And for the 1 month chart, we are still up by a whopping 108.37%. Now I hope that some of you have taken some profits because we have more than doubled in this price action. We have basically tripled. Again, where it began on the 10th of February, we were at 0.7999, just at that 8-cent level. And then we took that nice steep climb all the way to 15 cents, still doing pretty good. The gains are great and we are still in a run. I mean, you can even be trading Source now, so it's not like as if we are failing. And even with the 2-cent pullback, we are still pretty high. So great stuff coming from Source. Let's have a look at the price action for HBAR. Today we are trading at 11 cents. We are down by 2.2% on the 1-day chart. In the earlier hours of the morning, we were trading at 0.108. And on the week, we are up by a nice 30.5%. We have been doing pretty good with the metrics so far. At the start of the week, we were trading at 0.0833. So we did come up to 0.114. And then we just edged off a little bit slowly, but we were able to go to 0.119 and somewhat just touching the 12-cent mark. On the 1 month chart, we are up by a nice 51.2%, so we have doubled. And a lot of people have been talking about the 10-cent price target for Hedera, which is good, right? But for this, what I want is 12 cents. I want to see us be stable there. So let's see if we are able to just maintain support at the mid-range of 11 cents first. And then we should be able to go off to 12 cents. Guys, if you want daily Hedera HBAR coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.